Mick, it's about 6 weeks since we last spoke on your campaign trail. How's it been going?
Well, it's been interesting. Been trying to get around the county. I mean, Essex is geographically extremely large, so it's an interesting challenge. But I've been up to Frinton, places like Clacton, Margaretting, Southend, Basden, of course, very importantly, Thurrock. So going around, speaking to as many people as I can, speaking to Rotary clubs, Probus clubs, Women's Institutes, Federation of Small Business, Essex Chamber of Commerce, RAF associations, gun clubs, you name it. In the last month, 6 weeks, I've been doing my best to get out there and speak to as many people as I possibly can.
And if there is a top 2 issues that are affecting people in general, what would those 2 top issues be?
Well, I think a key issue is the delivery of neighbourhood policing across Essex. I think without doubt people are feeling that it's not being delivered as well as it could do, whether that's the changes that are being made through Blueprint via Essex Police or the austerity measures starting to kick in. But there are clear signs of concern from the public that key issues like neighbourhood policing need to be focused on a lot more, and that is consistent. I think the other key thing is the criminal justice system supporting the people that it should be supporting, and that's the victims. I think for too long people have felt the perpetrators, the offenders, have had the upper hand and victims less so. Well, that needs to change. And I think the other thing is just being informed. The lifeblood of any system are witnesses. If people take the trouble to report things to the police, they need feedback. We need to encourage them, support them, thank them, do everything we can to make sure they stay on board and they remain in future potential witnesses. So those are the things that I'm picking up, and that is consistent wherever you go across the whole of Essex.
Essex Police has been criticised regarding its treatment and dealing with antisocial behaviour. A year ago I was outside a polling station where a person who said they were in the Met in Corringham said Essex Police seem to give it passing attention, and sure enough on Monday there's an Addy zone vandalised, there's a library in Corringham under siege, and my gut feeling, looking at, without blaming officers, they're still sort of not uninterested, but suddenly a certain amount of detachment. What's happened? What's gone wrong?
Well, I think part of that is you need the resources to actually deliver neighbourhood policing properly. Neighbourhood policing should be dealing with the very issues that you've raised. There can be no more important issue in Essex than the quality of lives that people lead across the whole of the county, particularly in places like Thurrock, Tilbury, Ockenden, Grays, wherever you are. Your quality of life is the most important thing. And if that quality of life is being impacted on by individuals that are undertaking acts of antisocial behaviour, whatever that form is, then that needs to be dealt with from the very point that you actually ring up. And if you don't get the response, the likelihood is you will not ring up. Therefore, whatever's going on out there will never ever be picked up and can never ever be responded to. So it's important we recognise antisocial behaviour is a key issue for everybody. Essex Police need to respond to that. Essex Police need the systems that it's recorded properly. The Pilkington case in Leicester is a prime example. If we do not get a grip of antisocial behaviour, it will lead to far more serious consequences. So I think you're right, we need to reflect on that. The police crime commissioners need to understand that, and when they're in office they need to get that right.
But we look at statistics revealed by the Ministry of Justice at the weekend that Basildon magistrates and Basildon Crown Court are the 3rd most lenient courts when it comes to convicting burglars. Do you need all the organisations across the county to come to the party?
Well, doesn't it drive you mad when you read that a judge considers a burglar to be brave when they break into someone's house? How outrageous! What confidence does that give you in the criminal justice system? Yes, whether it's the police, whether it's probation, whether it's CPS, whether it's the Crown Courts, the Magistrates' Courts, they are working for the people of Thurrock. They're working for the people of Grays, Ockenden, Tilbury, Corringham, Stanford-le-H, Averley. They're working for the people. They're not independent of anywhere else. They need to reflect what the people are concerned about in the local area. The criminal justice system needs to work. So when people commit offences and are perpetrators and don't listen and don't respond to whatever's been offered to them, and they continue to commit offences, then we need to deal with them appropriately through the courts, and the courts need to reflect that. So yes, you are right, the criminal justice system needs to work for the people. As I mentioned before, victims need the support of the criminal justice system, they need to be the focus of it, and witnesses, who are the lifeblood of the criminal justice system, need to be supported as well.
Have you spoken to the Federation? I think our point would be, would a candidate from Labour or the Conservatives, would they be far more effective because they can have a communication line between the government and the police?
I've got no bosses. My only boss, and I am truly independent, is the people of Essex, the people of Grays, the people of Aveley, Tilbury, Corringham. They're my boss. They will determine what I need to prioritise and what I need to do, and what I need to work with Essex Police and the criminal justice system to deliver for them. I don't have to look towards Whitehall or Westminster. I don't have any manifesto or policy that I've got to follow. The only agenda is that the people in Essex, in Thurrock, creates for me. That will be my agenda. That's what I'll be taking forward. It's not a difficulty for me.